Hi guys, it's Tribble. I haven't been here for a really long time because I have things to do, unlike the people who spend all of their time in their mummies and daddies' basements and they record videos over and over again. But, so, Weaboos, they're really fun. You know, those people who just get like ridiculously, creepily obsessed with anime and they don't realize what normal social behavior is. They scare the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. I went to high school with like 50 of them, and they were all crazy. They ran up to me in their fucking Full Metal Alchemist t-shirts, and their Naruto headbands, and their fucking Death Note bags, and shit like that. Okay, if you want to have, you know, merchandise from your favorite show or whatever, I don't mind that. I'm still going to make fun of you. If I see somebody wearing a Star Trek pin, I'm going to laugh at them. I like Star Trek. I'm still going to laugh at them. Okay, here's the thing. Weaboos generally don't know how to behave in regular social circles. So, they're always, usually, like, have you ever met a weeaboo? Do you know what a weeaboo is? A weeaboo is a fucking crazy monster person that, they generally smell, kind of. They don't dress like normal people because they still think it's okay to wear fanny packs so long as they're printed with Inuyasha. They think that they live in a cartoon, and they were generally raised by their TVs. Now, when I say raised by their TVs, I mean their parents didn't put any effort into raising them. They said, you know what? We're not going to teach you what is and is not socially acceptable. We're not going to teach you how you speak to people. We're not going to teach you anything, but sit here in front of this TV. Look, Dragon Ball Z is on. That's how it starts. It's always Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon. It's one of the two. Sometimes people mix it up a little bit. They'll have Pokemon or some other shit. I like Pokemon. When I was 10. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie there. I still like Pokemon. But I haven't watched the show in like 15 years. 10 years. 10 years. Okay, but the thing is that people generally they just don't understand how to act in front of people. And so you hear those people who'll be like, oh, kawaii, and they'll say it in public. They'll be like, oh, kawaii desu. I don't know what people say. I don't like anime anymore. I think I follow one, and they haven't updated in forever, and it doesn't even look like anime. Dude was in the Louvre. Anime gets a bad rap because of these people. So many different fandoms are destroyed because people like weeaboos and otakus and fucking Trekkies and gotta think of another one. Stephanie Twitards. There we go. I think I've been over that enough. There are crazy people in these fandoms and they ruin everything. And it's like, some is legitimate art form. Some of it's actually good. I was actually having this discussion in my history class the other day. But for the most part, it's terrible. And, like, you know, some of us can recognize that it's terrible. It's like, you really think that Inuyasha is, like, a verifiable art form? You really think that Pokemon, like, that those little weirdly pentagon-shaped dudes are, like, a genuine form of art? No, it's bad. It's terrible. We know that much. We're not retarded. Unlike some people who think that, like, it doesn't matter what kind of anime you draw, it's legitimate art, and it should be taken completely serious fucking business. That's fun. That's fun when you meet those crazy people who, like, they draw shit that looks like Cardcaptor Sakura, and they're in their 30s, and they don't know how to draw well, and they're just like, this is, like, I'm gonna make a job out of this. I'm gonna do my own comic about some pretty princess from a space planet that fucking comes to Earth and has to work as a waitress in a cafe and blah. It's just on and on. Crazy shit. Like, okay. But, weeaboos are crazy. They ruin everything. I understand conventions and stuff, though, because that's a condensed form of crazy that you can avoid. Like, all the crazy people in your area, if there's a convention going on, they're not going to be in your area anymore. They're going to be in that tiny convention place, and it's like, condensed place. And it's like, if you have interests, it's just like, it doesn't matter what it is, don't freak out about it. Don't go crazy. Don't decide that, like, people have to accept this interest or you just can't deal with them. Fucking Paranormal Activity in here. Cats are crazy. So, just like, you know, if you're sort of out of politeness, partially because you're vaguely interested in knowing what somebody's stuff they like is. If you're like, you know, explain this to me. If somebody asks you to explain something to them, do it in the basest terms possible, because they don't want to sit there and listen to you talk about fucking Inuyasha for an hour and a half. That happened to me at my old job. There was a guy I worked with who was fucking crazy. He was like anime and fucking MMOs and American comic, Marvel and DC and shit. And American comic fans can be just as crazy, if not more so, than anime fans, but generally it's just as crazy. So, you know, we were talking about something, and somehow it ended up going to Inuyasha, and I was like, oh, Inuyasha, I used to be into Inuyasha, and I didn't finish the thought, which in my head went, because I stopped watching it and reading it when I was in middle school, because it's terribly drawn, and it's never going to end. Ever, ever, ever. He proceeded to, for an hour, explain to me exactly how the series ended, and just on and on. I don't know how this shit ends. I don't even know if he's serious. I think he might be just fucking crazy and making shit up, because he also thought he knew where the Book of the Dead was, and he thought he could bring people back to life. The joys of working in fast food, you guys, is you meet some really neat people. But I'm not working there anymore, luckily. So, he went on for an hour and a half. I don't remember how long it was. It was too fucking long is what it was. We're trying to cook and stuff, talking about the stuff, and the entire time I'm like, alright, stop now. You could have stopped 10 minutes ago, would have been less creeped out. 20 minutes ago, would have been even less creeped out. 30 minutes ago, I might have still had any respect for you as a person. But no, he had to talk for a disgustingly scary amount of time. And he did. But just, if you have interests and people who are interested in stuff that you're interested in, you can talk to them about it, but please don't try to convert people who are obviously not interested, and please, like, you don't have to try too hard to gain social skills. Like, people seem to think that weeaboos don't know how to do it because they only watch TV, and that's true. Because, you know, you can watch people and know how to act like a person. It's just like, you know, okay, that screaming thing, those people over there laughing at me, they think it's fucking crazy, and they're normal people. That's what I gauge as normal. So I'm not gonna do that in public. I might do something else, and if that ends up being crazy, I won't do that either. It's that simple. Weeaboos are fucking crazy. Yeah.